We were raised on the myth of the invincible man, the Golden Age Boy Scout who stands for truth, justice, and the American way. We were told that absolute power in the right hands is a safety net. But look closely at the screen today. We aren't cheering for Superman anymore. We are paralyzed by his shadow. The most terrifying thing in modern fiction isn't the monster under the bed or an alien invasion from the stars. It's a man with the power of a god and the emotional maturity of a toddler. It's the weak god. And the reason he keeps us up at night isn't because he can fly through buildings. It's because he is the most honest mirror America has ever looked into. The death of the moral compass. For decades, the American hero was a fixed point, a moral North Star.
I could do this all day.
Superman was powerful, but his power was secondary to his character. He chose to be good. But in the 21st century, that narrative has curdled. We've stopped believing in the good man because we've seen too many great men fail us in real life. Enter the weak god. A character like Homelander isn't the villain because he's evil, he's a villain because he's empty. He has all the strength in the universe, but zero internal weight. He doesn't have a code, he has a user agreement. He doesn't have convictions, he has market research. He is the personification of a hollowed-out institution, powerful enough to destroy you, but too fragile to care why.
You are not worthy of my respect. You are not a god. You are simply bad product.
The fragility of omnipotence. Here is the shocking truth. A god who is strong is predictable. A god who is weak is a catastrophe. In psychology, we talk about narcissistic injury. When a person with a massive ego but no self-worth feels slighted, they don't just get sad, they annihilate. Now imagine that fragile ego attached to a man who can hear your heartbeat from 3 miles away and melt your face with a glance. America is terrified of the weak god because he represents the volatile ego. He is the ultimate Karen with a nuclear warhead. He is the person who needs your likes, your shares, and your validation to feel real. And if the algorithm turns against him, he'll burn the server room down with you inside it. His weakness is his need to be loved, and that need is a black hole that swallows everything in its path.
I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better. I am better.
Commodified patriotism. The weak god is always wrapped in a flag. Why? Because a man with no soul needs a brand to hide behind. In America, we've commodified everything, even our virtues. We don't just want heroes, we want mascots. This is where the horror becomes real. Homelander is the product of a boardroom. He is focus-grouped patriotism. He represents the terrifying intersection of absolute power and corporate interest. He is a god owned by a conglomerate. When we see him on screen, we aren't seeing a hero. We are seeing a monetized threat. He reflects our fear that our national identity has become nothing more than a marketing campaign managed by people who would sell us out for a 2% bump in the quarterly earnings. The weak god is the face of a system that is too big to fail, but too broken to function. The mirror effect. Why does this hit the American psyche so hard? Because for a long time, America was the strong god of the world. We had the power, we had the moral high ground, and we were the city on a hill. But look at us now. We are a nation struggling with its own identity, obsessed with celebrity, fractured by internal rage, and desperately seeking validation on digital screens. The weak god is a satire of the modern American condition. He is the exceptionalist dream turned into a fragile nightmare. We are terrified of him because we see our own reflection in his blue eyes, the obsession with the brand, the fear of being canceled, the desperate need to be the greatest while feeling profoundly small. He isn't a monster from another world, he is the monster we grew in a lab using our own cultural DNA. Power without a soul isn't leadership, it's a hostage situation. We don't need gods who demand our worship while hiding their insecurities behind the cape. We need kings who are willing to serve in the shadows. We need the discipline of an Aragorn, not the desperation of a Homelander. The weak god is a warning. He tells us that if we continue to value greatness over goodness and power over purpose, we will eventually be ruled by the very thing we are most afraid of, a man who has everything but is worth nothing. Thanks for watching. If this analysis hit home, hit the like button and subscribe. Keep your minds clear of the slop, and I'll see you in the next one.